And you can use that thought process like I've said for buying a car, buying a house, deciding what shirt to wear to school, deciding what to eat for breakfast, deciding who to go on a date with, from a woman's perspective, even though there's a free dinner involved, I think I'd rather be at home with a book. What?
Oh, I just said you don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that guy. Exactly. But are those guys out there?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, that sort of thing. Any questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? So you can really use this sort of a thought process as really with any decision that you make, Do I go see Manchester United play or not? Questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? So far, so good? Okay, let's do some problems. Oh, I want you to look at, I just want you to see it's there on page 62. If you look, there's a whole bunch of types of problems. There's a list of types of problems, and we are going to see that. I'm going to ask you to look at that page again. So let's do Joe Slow. Joe Slow. Joe Slow is a salesperson for Forrester Fine Foods. He's considering a 250-mile trip to visit a potential customer finding food store. What page is this on?
65.
Page 65, everyone. Following are factors he is pondering, and then it gives the sound he's making while he's pondering. You don't think it's very funny? Not really, yeah. So we are trying to decide which of these factors in this list are relevant to this decision about whether or not to make a 250-mile trip to visit this potential customer, okay? Brittany Volk. Is that not you? That's close. I was close. I was very close. We're getting there. Number one, the cost of traveling the 250 miles to finding food store. Is that relevant to his decision about whether or not he should go? Yes. Absolutely, yes. Relevant. Tyler Warren, who's sitting right beside Brittany Volk, the time he will spend on the road, is that relevant? Yeah. You didn't sound very sure.
I say yeah.
Yeah, because, he might be able to, if he doesn't go, if he doesn't think it's worth it, he could spend that time doing something else. Going to visit another customer for whom it is worth it. Absolutely relevant. Kylie Weaver. Now I'm looking at the right person. The time he will spend visiting with finding food store executives, is that relevant?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, number 4, Kristen Wiley. The time he will spend visiting with finding food store executives. Is that relevant or irrelevant? Oh, excuse me, I said number 4, didn't I? And then I read the wrong one. And so Kristen is very confused. But number 4, the amount of time already devoted to finding food store. Ma'am? Irrelevant? Perfect. Irrelevant. It is sunk, right? Time already spent. Brett Williams, Mr. BMW. The revenue potential from finding food store, is that relevant to his decision?
Yes.
Absolutely. If he thinks he's got $1 million in sales potentially coming, he's a lot more interested than if he thinks it's only going to be $100, right? Very relevant, very relevant. So that was number 5. Number 6, Will. The cost of his last visit to finding food store, is that relevant or irrelevant? Irrelevant, okay? Irrelevant. Nicole, number 7, the probability that his visit will result in new sales.
Relevant.
Very relevant, right? If there's a 100% probability that if he visits them, he's going to get some sales, and a 0% probability that if he doesn't visit them, he's going to get sales, what's he going to do? He's going to say hi, right? Sarah, number 8. The cost of lunch for himself if he visits finding food store.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Why do you say that?
Because he's going to eat lunch even if he goes or not.
Very good. He's going to eat lunch if he goes there or not. Anybody have issues with that answer? This one's kind of a, he might not eat out. Now, where's he, Sarah, where's he going to eat out if he doesn't go visit them?
Probably somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, Subway, Taco Bell. Maybe he's a Taco Bell kind of guy. So if he takes everybody else out to lunch, is he going to take them to Taco Bell?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. And so it is important to realize that for number 8, 8's kind of tricky and finicky in the sense that clearly he's going to eat. So Sarah's logic is perfect in the sense that he's going to eat anyway. So that cost is irrelevant, unavoidable. However, more than likely, if he goes and visits them, he's going to spend more money on himself than he would otherwise. And so that additional money that he would spend on himself would be relevant. Right? Would be relevant. Does that make sense? Sarah, does that make sense? Wonderful. JJ, number 9. The cost of lunch you would buy for finding food store executives. Relevant, irrelevant? Relevant. Perfect. See how easy and fun this is? Matt? That was Joe Slow. Jude Law and Associates. Now, if you look here, Jude Law and Associates, relevant costs, and immediately below that, Rebecca, what does it say? Jude Law and Associates, relevant costs, and then immediately below that, in all capital letters, what's it say? Machine replacement. Now, if you look back at page 65, is it? 62 with the list? 62 with the list. Do those words appear anywhere? How about that? That didn't happen by accident. So what do you think this problem's about? Replacing a machine, right? Got an old machine, going to replace it with a new one. Jude Law and Associates, a local law firm, purchased and installed a new computer system 2 weeks ago at a cost of $35,500. Later, Jude's brother John stopped by the law office to say hello. While there, he noticed the new system. He remarked that too bad the system was not the latest and quickest, because if it were, the data input time would be cut in half. John suggested that Jude consider updating his system. Jude responded that he cannot because he just purchased the system 2 weeks ago. Perhaps Jude should reconsider. Both systems have a useful life of 5 years. We've got the old system, the new system. We want, in a nutshell, what do we want? What kind of information do we want to collect in a nutshell? Evan? In a nutshell, what's the phrase that goes along with in a nutshell?
Comparing relevant benefits.
Relevant benefits and relevant costs.